You broke the story over the weekend. What was the sense you were getting from people you talked to about what impact Julio Jones has on the Titans and the totality of the AFC playoff picture?
Well, look, John Robinson, the GM, was very focused on getting this done. There were a lot of teams involved that were having conversations with the Falcons over the last week or so. It started to heat up over the weekend, but the Titans stayed focused and pretty much did whatever they could to make sure Julio could land on their team. And a lot of the reasoning is going back to that playoff game against the Ravens when the Ravens defense did a phenomenal job of slowing Derrick Henry down. A.J. Brown was shut down. And really, the Titans had no options. Corey Davis was injured, and they basically just had to rely on some backup receivers. So here they are. Now they have an added weapon on their team. Julio Jones, who also, by the way, is expected to attend minicamp next week for the Titans. So it'll be our first time seeing him in a Titans uniform. I am curious what number he's going to wear, by the way, because we know that A.J. Brown wears 11. Mm-hmm. He wears 11 in Atlanta. We'll see if he'll maybe wear 8 like he did at Alabama. But overall, the feeling from Tennessee, from talking to everyone there, is they're nothing but excited about having an added weapon at this point.
And so here's what I will say. Teddy, you tell me what you think. If Julio Jones is healthy, and that's a huge if, we mentioned he only played 9 games last year. He is at that point in his career where he's starting every now and again to see the body breaking down. But if he's healthy with him and Brown and Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, there's no reason that offense shouldn't be as good as any in the AFC, and they are an absolute legit Super Bowl contender. Teddy, am I nuts?
I don't think you're nuts. They're not going to be the offense that, scores 30, 40 points a game. They're going to be the more of that one offense that wants to bludgeon you. And it'll still start with Derrick Henry, and it'll be a physical offense, but Julio Jones is a physical receiver. And in those situations Diana's talking about, in those big games, Derrick Henry's not going to run for 200 yards every game. There's going to be critical 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s, where it's going to be like, okay, they're doubling A.J., Julio, you got to win. That's it. Tannehill's going to throw it up, and it's going to be either he catches it or he doesn't, and either if he's healthy or not. So that's what he can be. That's what this offense can be. Their attitude will not change. They just have another gamer that's tough and physical that can sort of complement who they are already. But on a one-game situation, them versus the Chiefs, late in the year, who knows what the weather's like, I think they have the style that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs if a playoff spot or a sort of advancing to a championship game is on the line.
I agree. Styles make fights, and that style is a problem. So, Tim Hasselbeck, why are you so skeptical?
Well, I think the skepticism comes in that, the role is going to be different. And I've seen it play out before. Guys, go, when they're used to being a #1 guy and they go to a different scenario, it's hard to take a back seat. It's almost like playing a different game. And so now you have a player in Julio Jones who has averaged throughout his career 9.8 targets per game. Hembo sent me the stat. That is the most in NFL history. So he has been thrown to, on a per-game basis, more than any player that's ever played wide receiver in the NFL before. Now he's going to go to a team that has a defensive end playing tailback that they love handing the football to, and a up-and-coming wide receiver who is absolutely amazing. He's one of the rising stars in the National Football League, who's the #1. And so when you look at it and you say, okay, the #1 on the team a year ago had 106 targets. What is this going to feel like for Julio to be a guy that's, listen, in some games, maybe he doesn't get targeted. I was saying earlier, maybe he gets 3 balls thrown his way and has 1 catch. Like, how is that going to sit for a guy that's used to seeing 10 balls thrown his way every single game?
We'll find out.
Yeah, that's all on Vrabel. Yeah. That's all on Vrabel. Can Vrabel manage that personality?
And that's the head coach and Teddy, your old teammate.